Our next guest says the Obama administration appears to be deliberately sabotaging certain parts of our nation's economy. One example, the coal industry that could be destroyed by Environmental Protection Agency regulations. Joining us now is Senator John Barrasso, member of the Energy and Natural Resources Committee, Environment and Public Works and Foreign Relations Committees as well. He's chairman of the Senate Western Caucus. Senator, good to have you with us. Let me first get your reaction to the idea that so many Democratic senators in important positions of leadership are not even in communication with the President of the United States.
Yeah, the president, to me, has really checked out of what's happening on Capitol Hill and is focused only on his re-election. He's putting his own political future, I believe, ahead of the future of our country. People all across America want a healthy economy, and they all realize that the Obama economy is not a healthy economy. The president seems to be only focused on his re-election.
Deeply troubling to many folks in this country is this administration's attack on fossil fuels. In particular, let's focus on coal. Your state, the leading producer of coal in the country. It seems absolutely counterintuitive. Coal provides about 40% of the electricity that is generated in this country. Fossil fuels critically important to the country, yet this president has declared war on coal specifically.
Well, and he did it when he was running for office,
right.
Lou. He said under his administration, electricity prices would necessarily skyrocket. But, you know, coal is the most available, affordable, reliable, and secure source of energy in the United States. And the jobs are good jobs. You remember just 2 weeks ago in West Virginia in the primary, that prisoner got 41% of the vote, and he carried, I think, 11 different counties in West Virginia against the president. That is a vote against the president's position on coal. And while the president was not able, Lou, to get his cap and trade, or I call it cap and tax proposal through the Senate, we blocked that. He is now using the EPA and using rules and using laws way beyond the original intent of those laws. And what he has been doing is using those to try to, and effectively in some ways, shut down coal and coal-fired power plants.
Coal-fired plants, and at the same time, the Energy Department has an innovative program in which they are providing loan guarantees to so-called alternative energy products and corporations. The 1705 program guaranteeing all or part of $16 billion in loans. 78% of those guarantees went to companies involved in solar manufacturing or generation, and at the same time, this administration is putting a 31% tariff on solar panels coming into this country from China. This doesn't make a lick of sense, if I may say so, economically. Where are we headed here?
Well, a lot of things this administration does don't make economic sense. And, you know, we saw it with the Solyndra, what the president called a bet that went terribly wrong. They spent $500 million of taxpayer money for this company that was going bankrupt, and it appears that the administration knew that when they made the loan. But anyway, they rushed it through, and it was supposed to save jobs, and we know that that didn't work out well for them. This is an administration, in my view, that really isn't focused on the best needs of the country. They're blocking the Keystone XL pipeline. The president had actually lobbied members of the Senate to vote against the Keystone XL pipeline. Lou, we need affordable energy in this country. Energy security is a big part of our national security. And to tell Canada, we don't want your oil, just sell it to China, is wrong for our future. Instead, the president goes hand in hand to Saudi Arabia and says, produce more energy. That has us sending more and more money overseas. That ought to stay here, Lou.
And speaking of Saudi Arabia, I think it's appropriate that we give credit to the Saudis. They promised that they would move to produce oil given all that was happening in the world markets, and they have ramped up their production, and that has had a terrific effect on the markets, a terrific effect that is for the American consumer in particular. Don't you agree?
Well, I do, but you know, it's a supply and a demand thing, Lou, as you just said. That's why we ought to be exploring for more energy offshore, on federal land.
We're with you all the
and
way,
in Alaska.
but in the interim, I think it's appropriate to give the Saudis credit where credit is due, because they have really helped world markets and our consumers in particular. Senator John Barrasso, always good to talk with you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks. Thank you, Lou.